again. Welcome to class 603. Okay, let's continue where we left off yesterday. Let's continue where we left off yesterday. And where did we leave off? Where did we leave off yesterday? We left off on page, translation booklet, page 234, number 8, number 15. Qué lástima. What a shame. What a pity. Oh, that's too bad. Bah, de los ladrones. Los ladrones se lo llevaron todo. The thieves took everything. Oh, that's too bad. Bah, es seguro lo pagará. The insurance will pay for it. The insurance will pay for it. No menciones mi nombre. Eh? Don't mention my name. Mention. Don't mention. Mention. Attention. Pension. Pension. La pensión. Pension. Estos S-I-O-N o T-I-O-N se pronuncia en estos casos chin. Casi como chin chin. Chin chin, okay. Mention. No menciones mi nombre. Attention, don't mention the question. Pregunta también, question o cuestión. Question. Mention, no menciones la pregunta. Don't mention the question. No menciones la pregunta sobre la pensión. Don't mention the question about the pension. Atención, no menciones la pregunta sobre la pensión. Eh? Attention. Huh? Attention. Don't mention the question about the pension. Okay? Okay. Los demás son shun. Transportation, communication, lotion, potion, devoción, devotion. Yes. Poción, la poción mágica número 9. Love potion, poción de amor número 9. ¿No lo conoces? Love potion number 9. Yeah. Well, back in 1956, I was having trouble with the chicks. Me costaba ligar. I had trouble. So I went to a gypsy, una gitana, and she looked at my palm. She read it. She says, what you need is love potion number 9. You know? And so she went to the kitchen, a la pila de las cosas, and she brought it out. I took a drink. Wow. Yeah. I started kissing everything inside. I was kissing the book, everything. But I kissed a policeman. And he took away my bottle of love potion number 9. All right? And that was my potion. Potion. T-I-O-N. Ahora, T-I-O-N de mencionar es mention. No menciones la poción. Don't mention the potion. ¿Oyes la diferencia? ¿Eh? Don't mention the potion. No le digas que te lo dije. No le digas a él que te lo dije a ti. Don't tell him I told you. Excuse me? Don't tell him I told you. No te entiendo. Don't tell him. Don't tell him that I told you. Hombre, ahora te entiendo, Richard. Habla cristiano, eh? Come on. But nobody speaks like that. Don't tell him I told you, okay? Don't tell him I told you. Tell him, me como la H de him. Don't tell him I told you. You. La D de told con la I de you. Don't tell him I told you. Ahora tú puedes decir, don't tell him, aspirando la H, casi lo recomiendo. Don't tell him I told you. Or don't tell him that I told you. Don't tell him I told you. No, él no se lo creerá cuando lo oiga. He won't believe it when he hears it. He won't believe it when he hears it. When he hears what? That I used to have 6 fingers on this hand. What? Yeah, I used to have 6 fingers. Me llamaban 6 dedos. They called me 6 fingers. Because I was born with 6 fingers on my right hand. And where's the finger number 6? Oh, they surgically removed it. Yeah. They surgically removed it. Now I only have 5 fingers on this hand. And I have it's the same on this. I have 5 fingers on this hand as well. Yes. No se lo creerán cuando lo oigan. They won't believe it when they hear it. Y él no se lo creerá cuando lo oiga. He will not. He won't believe it when he hears it. No dejes que eso te preocupe, hombre. Don't let that worry you. Don't let that, ese hecho, te preocupe. Don't let that worry you. Are you worried? Yeah, I'm really worried. Why? I'm worried about that. That situation. Don't worry. Don't let that worry you. Yeah. I'll transmit to Marta the problem, and she'll worry for you, okay? Don't worry. She likes to worry. She's a woman. Women worry all the time. They're always worrying about things. Yeah. I mean, si no, ¿quién va a preocuparse? Los hombres, we don't worry. Las mujeres asumen la responsabilidad de preocuparse por todo. That's true, right? Who worries more, you or your husband? You. Marta is always worrying. Her husband, it doesn't matter. Yeah, yeah, no nos moriremos de hambre. Well, we won't die of hunger. Why worry? Are you worried about dying of hunger? No, you're not going to die of hunger. And your husband and your son are not going to die of hunger. And your parents and your brothers and sisters, nobody's going to die of hunger. Why worry? Why worry? Okay. So, and even if they send you to prison, si mandan a la cárcel, en la cárcel es comida gratis. It's free food. Yeah. Free room and board. Yes. Habitación y pensión completa. Free. So don't worry. Don't worry. There's no reason to worry. No dejes que eso te preocupe. Don't let that worry you. Fíjate, don't let that worry. No insertamos tú. Don't let that worry you. La operación comenzará esta noche. The operation will start tonight, or the operation will begin tonight. What operation? Operation Overlord. What's that? Overlord. D-Day. El día de. Yeah. On June 5th, 1944, Operation Overlord began. But D-Day was on the 6th of June, but they began on the night of the 5th, crossing the English Channel to the beaches of Normandy. La operación comenzará esta noche. Operación de militar en este caso, no quirúrgica. The operation will begin tonight. Su éxito dependerá de ti. Mucha gente aquí dice éxito. Su éxito dependerá de ti. It's, de la operación, its success. It's su de ello, o de ella, la operación. Its success will depend on you. And on you only. It's a big responsibility, I admit. Its success. The operation will begin tonight, and its success. Ahora enlacemos. It's, su de ello. Its success. Fíjate, se alarga el sonido. Its success will depend on you. Will depend on, will depend on you, will depend on me. All right. No me asustes. Don't scare me. Don't scare me. The success will depend on me? Yeah. That's a big responsibility. Don't scare me. ¿Qué clase de comportamiento es ese? What kind of behavior is that? What kind of behavior? Aquí la ortografía inglesa no americana en behavior. What kind of behavior is that? What kind of behavior is that? Cuidado, te quemarás el brazo, You'll burn your arm. You'll burn your arm. You'll burn your arm. ¿Cómo? You'll burn your arm. Habla cristiano. You'll burn your arm. You will burn your arm. You'll burn. You'll burn your, sonido oscuro fonético aquí. You'll burn your arm. Will I burn my arm? Yes, you'll burn your arm. Be careful. Okay, we have finished translation list number 19 on page 234 and 235. We're progressing, ¿Será posible que lleguemos a terminar esto? I don't believe it. Lo creeré cuando lo vea. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. Vocabulary, wow. My favorite part. Vocabulary. List number 5, no? Yes, list number 5, page 129. También, ¿eh? 129. Agradecimiento, appreciation. I want to express my appreciation for the time you have devoted to me. You know, Marta, last night, I was in a pub. Yeah. Our good friend Kyle Miller has a pub. And it was a pub quiz. A pub quiz means a competition with questions in the pub for about 2 hours with questions. 40 questions. And I designed the questions. I had 10 questions about classical music, 10 questions about classic rock and classic pop, 10 questions about history, and 10 questions about geography. Okay. Now, a woman arrived and she introduced herself to me, and she had come from Murcia to Madrid only for the pub quiz. And she was returning to Murcia the following morning. And I said, come on, but surely you came for a friend, another friend to have dinner. No. She came for the pub quiz only. Said, I came to meet you. She came from Murcia to meet me. All right. I said, wow, that was a big responsibility for me. I expressed mi agradecimiento. I expressed my appreciation. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming from Murcia. My God. Cuesta abajo, downhill. Uphill, downhill. It's easier to walk downhill than to walk uphill. The downhill, literalmente el cuesta abajo, is a winter sports event, a ski event. Event aquí no es evento. La palabra event has 3 in Spanish. Means evento, acontecimiento, y prueba deportiva, de natación, de atletismo o de esquí. Event. La prueba de los 100 metros lisos. The 100-meter dash is an event, an Olympic event. And the downhill is el descenso. The 3 main events in skiing, the 3 main events are the slalom, no? The slalom, the giant slalom, and the downhill. Downhill is dangerous. They go very fast. Downhill, el cuesta abajo. Downhill, de vez en cuando, every once in a while. Every once in a while, 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 every now and then, every so often, from time to time, and occasionally. Los 5 magníficos. Yes. Occasionally. Every now and then. Every so often. From time to time, and every once in a while. El más corriente es este último. Every once in a while. El que yo recomiendo es from time to time. Because it's easy to remember and easy to say. From time to time, every once in a while. No tiene sentido, eh? It doesn't make sense. No tiene sentido. It doesn't make sense. Or it doesn't make any sense. No tiene nada de sentido. It doesn't make any sense. En inglés las cosas hacen sentido, no tienen sentido. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. Probable, likely. Es probable que vengan. It's quite likely. It's improbable, unlikely. Likely, unlikely. Probable, improbable. Likely, unlikely. Probability, likelihood. Hermano menor de Robin Hood. Likely, likelihood. Probable, probability. Probability. Okay, likely. It's not very likely. No es muy probable que vengan. It's not very likely. Are they going to come? Are they coming? ¿Vienen? Marta y Pepe? No, it's not very likely. I don't expect them to come. It's not very likely. Fuerza laboral is manpower. Manpower. Poder de hombre, potencia de hombre. Manpower. Sí, la manpower. It's an interesting way, man. Now 40% are women. We should say people power, but we don't. Manpower. Se usa mucho en inglés la palabra man para hombre y mujer. Man. También en español, el hombre. La creación del hombre. Okay. También la mujer. God first created Adam. Yeah. And then he created Eve. Because he saw that Adam was lonely. And so he created Eve. Manpower. Fuerza laboral. La fuerza laboral de ese país. The manpower. The manpower. The labor force. También nos vale. Labor force. Maximum. Maximus minimus. Maximus minimus. Maximum. Minimum. Maximum minimum. Maximum. Como máximo es at the most. Sí, voy a seguir aquí como máximo hasta el programa 800, por ejemplo. I'm going to continue until program number 800 at the most. Como máximo, at the maximum, no se dice. Maximum, no. Maximum. All right, pesadilla, nightmare. Extraña palabra, nightmare. También pesadilla, una pesada pequeña, you know. Pesadilla. All right. Strange word in Spanish, eh? Pesadilla. Pero también en English. Nightmare. I don't know the origin of that word. Your homework is to research the etymology of nightmare. Night como noche, mare. Now mare significa yegua, caballo hembra. Pero no tiene nada que ver con esto. Nightmare. Okay, nightmare. Richard, when was the last time you had a nightmare? Yeah, the last time I had a nightmare was 2 nights ago. Really? What did you dream? I dreamed that I was here and there were no pencils. And I said, it's like this. I said, okay, hello everybody. I'm here. And there were no pencils. And I couldn't continue teaching. And I tried to teach. It was a nightmare. And I couldn't. Because the pencils completely nullified my ability to teach. It was a terrible nightmare. Nightmare. Do you suffer chronic nightmares? I don't remember the last time I had a nightmare. I don't remember the last time I had a nightmare. I don't remember. I remember, normally you don't remember your dreams. But I remember a nightmare I had when I was maybe 5 years old, 6 years old. And I still remember that nightmare. My father and I were captured. Mi padre y yo capturados. Nos capturaron a mi padre. Wolves. Lobos, pero lobos de dos patas. They were walking, like cartoon wolves were walking, and they captured my father and me. And they put us in jail, in a calabozo. And my father and I were standing behind the bars, and several wolves were standing outside, looking at us, and we were in jail. In a wolf jail. That's the only thing I remember, but I have never forgotten that nightmare. A nightmare. Yes, be careful with wolves. Optimista, optimistic. Por aquí era pesimista. Pessimistic, optimistic, realistic, fatalistic. Optimistic. It's better to be optimistic than pessimistic. If they invite me, if Marta invites me to the las favelas del Río, me invita ahí y me da un megáfono. A megaphone. And she says, puedes decir, sed pesimistas o sed optimistas. You choose. Well, it's very clear. Of course, the people in the favelas in Rio are not very optimistic people. They're not, because there's a lot of poverty. And they're struggling. But to say sed pesimistas is not, so of course I'm going to say sed optimistas. All right, so if you have to choose, it's very clear, be optimistic. Optimistic, pastilla, pill, pastilla. At home, in my house, I have language pills. You take them, and it needs, after about 20 minutes, it takes effect, and you speak the language perfectly for the rest of your life. Yeah. I have English pills, French pills, Portuguese pills, and Russian pills, German pills, Turkish pills, Arabic pills, Chinese and Japanese pills, etc. Now, I have here a Turkish pill. Te lo tomas y sabes turco. You know Turkish the rest of your life. Now, I'll sell it to you, Marta. Te lo vendo. 10,000 euros. I'll sell you a Turkish pill for 10,000 euros. Will you pay me? No. Turkish, 90 million people speak Turkish. It's a very important language. And now on Spanish television, there are a lot of Turkish television series and movies. You wouldn't pay would you pay? Would you, eh? Not Marta. Marta has to pay her mortgage, tiene una hipoteca. So, but would you pay 10,000 euros for a Turkish pill? You take it, presto, you speak Turkish the rest of your life. I would pay 10,000 euros for a Turkish pill. The English pill is 100,000 euros. 100,000, eh? Of course, to buy a house is more. But to know English perfectly is very valuable. Very valuable. All right. Let's see. Pastillas, pill. Píldora, pill. All right. Perfil, profile. Profile, my profile. My profile. Profile. También el perfil de un candidato de trabajo, the profile. What kind of profile are you looking for? Well, we're looking for a person with 2 eyes, 1 nose, and 1 mouth. Oh. Well, there are a lot of people with that. Eh? Yeah, there are a lot of potential candidates that have 2 eyes, 1 nose, and 1 mouth. That's the profile. Profile. All right. Relación, relationship. Se usa mucho la palabra relationship for relación sentimental, a relationship. An affair significa casi aventura amorosa. No una relación normal amorosa. That's a relationship. An affair, no, a relationship. And an affair también puede ser un asunto. I mean, it's an important affair. Aunque solemos decir más matter, an important matter, an affair. Of course, in French, les affaires son los negocios. Les affaires, the affairs. All right, relación, relationship. ¿Cuál es la relación entre estos dos lápices? What's the relationship between them? Well, both of them are pencils. One is pink and the other is purple, and they both belong to me. That's the relationship. Otherwise, they don't have a relationship. They work together, but there's no special relationship, and they're not having an affair, by the way. Are you having an affair? No. All right. They're not having an affair. No relationship. Relationship, aseo en lugares públicos, restroom. In the United States and Canada. Excuse me, the restroom? Yes. I remember my lawyer. I have a lawyer in Texas, un abogado para mis impuestos allá y todo, everything legal in the United States. And he and his wife came to Spain maybe in 1990, many years ago. And his wife speaks a little Spanish. His wife is a Spanish teacher in primary school. And she speaks fairly good Spanish. And they went on a trip to Toledo, Córdoba, Granada, Marbella, Sevilla, Madrid. No, not bad. Un periplo curioso, bonito. And when they came back to Madrid, the wife asked only two questions. Well, no, she asked only one question. She said, what does cambio de sentido mean? Because they were driving a car, they rented a car, and going to cambio de sentido. You know, sign that said, que más adelante puedes cambiar de sentido. She said, cambio de sentido, change of sense? Porque en inglés sense es el sentido común, no es un sentido direccional. It's a cambio de sentido. And she never found out. And when they came back, she said, the first question, hey, Richard, I have a question. What does cambio de sentido mean? And I said, it's a U-turn. Giro en U. U-turn. To make a U-turn. Oh. And she said, aquí todos los aseos están al fondo. Al fondo. And that was her expression. I'll see you tomorrow.